Welcome back everyone to JungleCon. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Getting into our next presentation, this speaker is the founder of My Amazon Guy, a full-service Amazon agency with over 50 full-time employees and more than 160 active clients. He built his company to serve clients the way he wished agencies served him when he was on the corporate side. With over a decade of e-commerce experience, he is considered a top Amazon thought leader and visionary. He even shares all of his trade secrets on YouTube and hosts a podcast with hundreds of video tutorials. He's built a culture around growth hack sales, troubleshooting Amazon problems, and quickly getting to market. He is personally building Amazon brands himself and currently owns the #1 ranked wine glass on Amazon. He's the perfect presenter for this next topic, having worked with the #1 online bullion dealer in the entire world, raising their SEO traffic by 10 million unique visitors year over year. And so today, he's going to be presenting the topic of listing optimization, SEO, and organic rank, teaching you how to increase your traffic to your product listings. Please welcome Stephen Pope.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Welcome to my presentation. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. In my presentation today, I'm going to be talking about search engine optimization and the 3 phases of SEO. So super excited to talk to you guys today. Amazon SEO strategy does everything from getting the product on the map to incremental indexing to the strike zone keywords that you want to rank at the top of search results. So before we get into all things SEO, a little bit about myself. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. We have more than 160 active full-service clients today, 50 full-time employees, and we are a full-service Amazon agency. I like to think of myself as a thought leader in the space with over a decade of e-commerce experience, and I've specialized in Amazon the majority of my career. One of the coolest things I've done in SEO prior to my Amazon experience, there was a website called APMEX, America's Precious Metal Exchange. It's the #1 bullion dealer online in the entire world. I actually increased their SEO traffic by 10 million uniques year over year. So if you want to know if you're listening to an expert today, very easy to do this litmus test. Just go to any SEO tool that's not related to Amazon. So we're talking like SEMrush kind of tools, and put in apmex.com. You can guess my hire date. It is that obvious in the search result with that graph in mind. So fun facts about me, if you will. I'm an expert competitive chess player, or at least I used to be. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I used to be a television reporter. There's some cool footage. If you're curious, you can check me out on YouTube. Just type in Stephen Pope Reporter Reel. I've got an MBA, and I'm a 33-year-old father of 3 with 1 on the way. So I've got my hands full at home. I have what often is the #1 ranked wine glass on Amazon. It does move around on the search results. To be fair, this is a very popular search results. But at time of this screenshot, I was in rank #1. You may see I'm in like rank 3 or 4 if you try and do this on your side. But nonetheless, it's proof in the pudding, so to speak, that I know what I'm talking about. And this is one of my top selling wine glasses under my brand called Momster, which is just a silly brand for funny wine glass sayings. So with that in mind, I did get it to rank #1 through my personal brand. There's a direct link to this in the presentation if you want to look at the listing yourself and see it. And happy to, I actually show a lot of things publicly throughout all of my work on YouTube. I have more than 600 videos on YouTube. You can check out a lot of videos where I talk about my work. So how did I do it? Well, I have more than 6,900 keywords indexed on this listing, which is a lot of keywords indexed. And for most listings, when you're first getting started, you're trying to hit that 1,000 mark. But mature listings can get into the several thousand, just like this one. And there's a lot of benefit from indexing from lots of keywords. And so what do I mean by indexing? I mean show up in the top 300 results for that particular search term. So that doesn't mean you're on the top of page 1, but it does mean Amazon thinks you're semi-relevant or better on thousands of keywords. And this is important during our phase one conversations today. So the goal of Amazon SEO is traffic. And in order to get that, we need to index, then be at the top of search results, and in that order. This is really the secret sauce that I'll be talking about today. We run multiple phases of search engine optimization, and it's not set it and forget it. And so with that in mind, there's an order of operations that we'll talk about today. So the goal of phase one SEO is to index in mass. Like we're talking, get the product on the map in as many ways as possible to boost your sales through relevant keywords and increased CTR, click-through rate that is, traffic and sales. So these three phases, and here's phase one with an overview. Product launch phase SEO. In phase one, it employs the best practices by reverse engineering competitor listings and researching each product's copy. So you've got the back-end search term that has roughly 249 characters, and you want to chock it full of misspellings, relevant keywords, back-end attributes, top-ranking keywords that placed into the customer-facing copy. Do all of those things during phase one. The timing on this, you should have this all completed within the first 72 hours of launching a new product on Amazon. And we recommend that phase one sits for about 30 days. Why? To index and rank for newly launched products on the Amazon Marketplace to increase traffic, conversion, and sales. So when you first come out of the gate, you're not trying to convert on these keywords for your SEO strategy. That's really kind of the delineation I'm trying to make here. You're trying to show up. Phase one is all about showing up. Amazon backend search terms have very specific requirements. And even since I've taken this screenshot, some of the keyword backend stuff like intended use, target audience have gone away in many categories. So focus on that search term field as the second most important thing. Probably the only thing more important than this is the title that is on the front end of your listing. But if you don't have at least 226 characters into the search term field, you may be losing some indexing value, which is why we try and get as close to that 249 as humanly possible. There are a lot of things you need to avoid when doing your search engine optimization. One of those things is suppression words in your Amazon SEO strategy. So for example, you wouldn't want to have promotional or holiday wordings. Try and avoid things that trigger the adult category. Never include commas, semicolons, etc. into the Amazon backend search terms, and do not include profanity of any kind. One of the other things I would add to this, there are certain keywords that will auto yank your listing, like CBD or using drug paraphernalia phrases of any kind. And unfortunately, we have seen a lot of black hat attacks using these phrases in alternative marketplaces. So if you're selling in the US, black hat tactic guy loads keywords to your Canadian listing, your German listing, to try and get your listing taken down. So be on the lookout for those things. Those are very, very prevalent right now. I don't know if that's the right word. So wording that violates Amazon's policy also should be avoided. No returns accepted, drugs, tobacco, porn, violence, guns, weapons, all of those bad things. The mention of promotions or deals like, hey, buy two, get one free, that kind of thing, or 20% off, don't do that. Another thing that will auto yank your listing is using a competitor's trademarked brand name. Never, ever do that. Don't do it in the copy, and also don't do it in the backend search terms. About a year ago, you could get away with it in the search terms. That's no longer the case. Using any of these practices at best can harm ranking, and at worst could have your listing even pulled or even your account suspended. Haven't really seen much of that. It's usually just the listing pulled. Phase one tricks. So one of the cool things that you can do is target things that other people are not targeting to get a little bit of an edge. So misspellings, right? Change the top ranking and converting keywords into common misspellings. That's a big one. And you can do this without any tool. Amazon's autocomplete will give you some opportunities to look and find things that could be beneficial in your search term field. The autocomplete function can be a great place to find keywords relevant to the product at hand. Another thing is the alt text of your SEO in your enhanced brand content, also known as A+ content. You do need brand registry for this. If you don't have brand registry, go get that trademark. You can now file a trademark and file for brand registry with a pending trademark and get that entire process completed in 7 days. I speak about trademarks frequently. If you want to learn more about that, come look at my channel at My Amazon Guy. But adding alt text keywords into enhanced brand content is extremely valuable. 100 characters per photo. And here is the point where I say Amazon is lying about indexing alt text, right? So their official statement is they do not index A+ content. They also say they don't index the alt text, but I'm telling you, they totally do. And I did a test, right? Like I put Spanish into one of the words alt text. I didn't put Spanish anywhere else, like anywhere else. Wasn't in the copy, wasn't in the search term field, nothing. Just one single photo alt text. And sure enough, a few weeks later, that listing was ranking for the Spanish word I put in, and there were not any Spanish keywords anywhere else. So I am 100% confident that having lots of copy in your A+ content, as well as utilizing the alt text fields of your A+ content, will have an immediate boost to the indexing of your keywords. And so I recommend you focus on that in the first 72 hours of launching your listing. It will make an impact. Another thing you can do is look at the search terms report. You can do this from your PPC. You can do this from your advertising. This report will show you what customers searched for and which terms converted through PPC. Now, obviously, when you're first launching an item, this is less relevant, but let's say you have some data, you've been advertising for a few weeks, go pull those search term reports, because anything that you convert on is much easier to matriculate at the top of search results. The report is a great cheat sheet to show you what customers are actually searching for. So sort the report by AD spend to see where the highest spend is. Implement the terms which convert into sales into your SEO strategy, titles, bullets, etc. You can also use terms with high spend, and zero conversion as a guiding light to optimizing the listing as well. So how do you find a competitor to do phase 1 keyword research? Search for a relevant phrase to your product on Amazon. Find a competitor with a high amount of reviews, significant sales volume. That means they've got a low BSR, a well-optimized listing. They've filled out the bullets, a detailed title, images filled out great, EBC, etc. So here's an example of a well-optimized listing. And let's see if we actually pull this up here. And in here, this is the social distancing. I'm not drinking alone. I'm social distancing funny stemless wine glass by Mobster. And in here, you can see I've got photos of product in use. I've got product different shots, feature shots, you name it. I've got it all. And you just scroll down. The A+ content is very full of good intel. And so one of the tricks you can use with Jungle Scout, once you find your competitor, start the keyword research. Spy on your competition with the competitor ASIN that you found. So you can use that ASIN example, and we suggest sorting by our organic rank for the top 50 keywords and discover profitable keywords by doing this. So ensure everything is implemented correctly on Amazon phase 1. Make sure all items are viewable under search terms on the keywords tab in the edit product page. If there are any alternative attributes, please add items to these as well, though most categories seem to be removing them. And you can ignore platinum keywords if it's showing up. That has been defunct for so many years. All right, so in summary, that was phase 1. You want to do everything you can to index for as many keywords as possible. Now, one of the things that we do in phase 2 is try and incrementally index for product keywords. And so what we do is we promote the reduction of keyword redundancy to hyper-focus on the perfect keywords for the product. So in the phase 2 section, you're going to be doing a copy update, especially with the search term field. And what we call this one is the pink term update. You could also nickname it the Dennis Rodman update because it's a little funny looking. And in the back end of your brand analytics dashboard, you will actually see these phrases in pink. And Amazon's basically saying these are superfluous, right? Like they do not add value. Now, the reason we don't do this until phase 2 and instead don't do it in phase 1 is because we found that by having the words in the title and in the search term field that are duplicated, it actually indexes for more keywords faster. But after we've done that, you're looking for that incremental gain. So let's say you get 1,000 keywords within the first 30 days. Well, this incremental phase might get you to 1,200 keywords. And you replace any word that is in your search term field that is in pink, according to your brand analytics dashboard, because it's in your title or your bullet points already. That's the whole point of phase 2. So it's a rather easy phase. You're just going to look for replacement keywords and incrementally index for them. So we usually complete this within 30 to 60 days after completing phase 1. And we let phase 2 matriculate for at least 30 days. And the reason for that is you can't really start phase 3 until you have 50 keywords into the top 20 to 50 keyword ranking slots. And that means 50 keywords between ranks 20 and 50. And that's because you need to index first, then matriculate them in that order. So it reduces the repetition in your keyword field. Your copy, your description, bullet points, and backend keywords are all working together in tandem. And this optimizes ranking and improves traffic and conversion. So phase 2 tricks: use the Amazon search term optimizer if you have brand registry, which, by the way, you need if you want to be successful on Amazon. Run the search term optimizer. Page should look like the image below. Click Run Search Term Optimizer on any terms in pink. Amazon considers low value add, in other words, they already exist in the copy, and replace these keywords with misspellings, Spanish, or long tail keywords to maximize effectiveness in the ranking. And then this next one is Spanish. Fairly simple. Convert existing top ranking keywords into Spanish using Google Translate and input these keywords into the search term optimizer. And so here's some proposed search terms, right? So, and I've got it in yellow and in blue, and I am not a native Spanish speaker, but I've got some Spanglish in me. So Jaqueta con capucha and Deportivia, both of these would translate to from jacket with hood or sporty. So these Spanish keywords just tacked on into the search term field can make a massive difference to the number of keywords you index for. There are a big jump in the search term results for Spanish, and people who are searching in Spanish will find your products better. And some of you may say, well, Amazon's smart enough to auto-translate my stuff to Spanish, and you're right, they actually are. However, in testing, if you put Spanish keywords physically into the fields, I guarantee you'll index faster. So that's why this matters. Trend reports. They cover growing niches, trending products, categories to avoid, tips on how to beat the competitors. So take advantage of any trend reports that you can find from Jungle Scout or any other source that has them. Now we are ready for phase 3. So our SEO goal at phase 3 is to matriculate the keywords and try and get them to the top of search term results. So this is an advanced strike zone SEO phase, and it's our final and most advanced phase. And basically you are going to throw out everything we just talked about in favor of everything we are about to talk about. And that is, don't worry about indexing. Don't worry about the best practices. You're going to rerun phase 3 repeatedly, and you're going to target specific keywords. So this is for mature listings. Sometimes 6 months is required to get to this phase. If you have a really popular listing, you can get to this as early as month 3. You got to index for at least 800 keywords. I usually shoot for 1,200. And I think you need at least 50 keywords in ranks 20 through 50, because if you don't have that many, you're probably not ready for phase 3. You need to rerun phase 1 or 2, most likely. And so we repeat this phase 3 of SEO every 30 to 60 days for mature listings that index for that amount of keyword distribution. And the reason is because SEO is not set it and forget it, right? Like, you wouldn't open up a $10,000 PPC budget and never negate a keyword. You wouldn't open a $10,000 keyword budget and never modify a bid. Same thing with SEO. You need to iterate. It's not set it and forget it. So you continuously grow, rank keywords into the number 1 spot, which allow you for continued growth in ranking, which ultimately leads to traffic and sales. You also need to consider tracking results. This is especially important in this phase, because prior to this, you're just shotgunning a little bit and trying to spray and pray and get as many keywords indexed. Well, once you get to phase 3, it's like you're deep in the trenches and you need to know the play-by-play, right? Like, you need to know, okay, I made this change. How many ranks did I move up on these 5 specific keywords? So utilize Jungle Scout's keyword tracker, and it will make it way instrumental for phase 3. Once you set up keyword tracking in your tool, you should do the following with your strike zone keywords. Click add new product, add a strike zone keyword to the product, and start tracking it. You can then track over time easily. And every 90 days, typically you're going to want to rerun phase 3, sometimes more often than that. And once a keyword has organic rank 1 through 19, rotate it out with a new one and start the entire process over again. So you're looking for that strike zone and keep throwing pitches straight down. So why does SEO matter on Amazon? Well, your generating traffic for listings is instrumental for success on Amazon. So the 3 phases of SEO strategy work in conjunction with a profitable PPC strategy. And if you learn how to develop and build a successful SEO strategy, it's critical to your success on Amazon. So I've been using these strategies for years and can speak firsthand to the success of these strategies that they've brought our clients, as well as my own brand, Momster, and my personal business. And I'm confident that if you use our 3 phases of SEO, which we give out rather freely, it will improve your traffic and sales on Amazon. There's a few things you do need to keep in mind, though, and that is there are some algorithm updates. So A10 ads still drive organic ranks, but that has diminished as of the A10 update. And in September of 2020, ranks became diminished on purpose from Amazon using a hidden algorithm update, kind of hit search, find, buy practices a little bit, and external traffic that gamed SEO. So I would be very careful with those practices moving forward because of that. There's also negative impact from sellers pushing chat programs, review programs, anything that looked like the system was being gamed has been hit with probably a hidden algorithm update in September. I have not seen any public discourse on this outside of my own personal speculation, but I can tell you I saw a lot of this. In the A9 updates, we also saw some updates specifically for keyword rankings and how they mature. So in here, you can see on the very far right, 180 days of sales and your organic sales make up 40% of your keyword rankings. Reviews, a little over 15%, same with conversion rate right at 15%. And then it drastically drops down. Offsite sales, 7%, click-through rates, 7%. And then PPC coming in at a small 5% these days. Do I still run PPC SEO campaigns? You betcha. But I'm not putting all of my eggs in that basket anymore, which is why our 3 phases of SEO, where you go through all of the copy and you target all of the phases and all those fields, matters a lot more than it ever has before. Sales internal, I don't really know what they bucket into this at 5% here. Maybe the brand store could be part of that, not completely sure. Impression counts at 3% and seller authority at probably like 2%. And so that seller authority is everything from just how long you've been a seller to your customer metrics, that kind of thing. So very minor impact, but still present. So make sure you answer those customer service messages. The 9 factors affecting keyword rank seller authorities refers to the seller's authority that is in control of the Amazon listing or the buy box. Seller authority is believed to be made up of factors such as below: how long the seller has been active on Amazon, the seller's feedback rating, the seller's performance metrics, and how many products the seller has in their catalog. Impressions: how many times the product is seen anywhere on Amazon.com, affiliate sites, and partner sites. The more your product is seen, the more importance Amazon gives to that product's listing. Sales internal: sales that initiate from Amazon's website without being tied to a search, things like frequently bought with or the brand store. PPC sales: this used to be a major factor in ranking keywords on Amazon. It's since been demoted in 2020, still a factor, but no longer one of the main forces in ranking keywords. Click-through rate: this is how often your product is clicked when seen in a search result. This is one of the main reasons for having a compelling and attractive main photo and title. Off-site sales: the new kid on the block and the new leader in driving keyword rank for the A9 algorithm update in 2020. Driving off-site traffic to your Amazon listing is now 3 times more effective than using Amazon's PPC. If you are not driving off-site traffic to your Amazon listing, you need to start doing that. Your traffic can help you automate that process. Conversion rates. Conversion rate is the ratio at which someone views and then inevitably buys a product. Higher conversion rate will get you ranked before your competitors' product listings. Sales history: your product's rolling 180 days of sales history. Strong factor on how you rank organically on Amazon search results. If you want a strong product ranking, you will want to try to keep momentum by not running out of stock, which is very tricky these days. I kind of feel like supply chain management has never been harder. The concept of just-in-time supply chain is also dead, in my opinion. Got to prepare for those black swan events. And in my opinion, we have not seen the last black swan event. We've probably just seen the beginning of many to come. Organic sales are when shoppers purchase your product without any marketing or promotion. If a user searches for something and your product shows up in the search results, it gets bought, then it would be considered an organic sale. This is the most important factor. So if you index for a keyword, but nobody buys your product, that is, after clicking on it, you will lose your keyword rankings when your competitor actually makes that sale and gets it over the finish line. That's what Amazon actually makes money on. You can still build SEO through PPC. Run about 10% of your gross sales in ads to grow your brand. Run a high ACOS on your top 3 keywords in general, especially those strike zone keywords that are in ranks 20 through 50. And you want to redo some of those titles, put them in your bullets, your A+ content, your alt text, all of the above, as well as into some PPC campaigns. Here are some success stories. We 3x'd some growth for one of our clients in this chart here. So they started out 4,700. We did it all in a month. And then you can see the actual hard numbers here where we took them for 4,700 a month, to 6,400, 9,000, then almost 14,000 there, all in a 1 month time span. A little bit of seasonality there helping us, but you can see we actually spent less on ads, increased the ad revenue, and then the impression counts and everything else, including the SEO. Very, very happy. So the client said, I am especially happy with the lower ad spend, lower ACOS, and higher ad revenue. All great signs. Here's 2 more. In 9 weeks, we grew sales 50% almost, 67% ad revenue up, and a 33% ACOS decrease. We are running full service on these clients, so not just the SEO helping, it'll also some PPC helping here as well. And finally, this other one here, launched in Q4, successfully stocked out with $300K in sales in the month of December. And we only shared the first week in December there, but basically wanted to showcase how we launched them from scratch and stocked them out in December. Another example of success, doubled the sales in the first 2 months and reduced ACOS and improved profitability. So their August numbers, 216,000, September, 450K. And then this particular client example, I probably need to update this slide. We actually clocked them in at 1.1 million in the month of January. So that's right, we grew them into January over their December numbers. And I can't reveal the category or anything like that, but suffice it to say, it's possible to have a better January than December, even when January is not your Christmas, so to speak. We grew another client to 1 million sales in 3 months. We were hired in September, and by December, we grew them to 542,000 in the month of December. So they sent me an email with a one-liner and said, we just hit 1 million for the year. Super happy camper. A couple of bonus strategies to talk about. External Google rankings. Ride those cultural waves. Build a website with content. And what do you do when your rank plummets? So external keyword rankings in Google can help you push your sales. And one of the things that you can do is push Google ads to your Amazon listings. You could also set the canonical URL of your Amazon title by putting a hyphen after the first 5 keywords in your title. That can also help your actual Amazon listing rank in Google. And in the left screenshot here, you can see I typed in, I'm not drinking alone, I'm social distancing, and it shows up organic rank number 1, despite the fact there are 29 million results that could show up alternative items and wine glasses with that exact saying on it. So very important. Ride those cultural waves. So SEO ebbs and flows. New keywords come out each week. I've built an entire brand off cultural phenomenons. So this social distancing thing, which I hope goes away pretty soon here, that wine glass will probably die out. But I've got many more to come because virtual teaching, Grandma Shark needs a drink. And this is the way for the Star Wars nerds out there. These are all things that have some sort of cultural tie. So if you follow the cultural waves with your product offering, you get some SEO juice out of the fact that there's higher impressions and you're more agile than your competitors. It helps quite a bit. So you can also build a website, Shopify, for example, and include your Amazon listings on the website. We do build Shopify websites at myshopifyguy.site. Essentially, any SEO traction you gain from your brand website can easily be pushed onto your Amazon listings. And if you don't want to sell on Shopify, but you just build the website and push them to Amazon, that's actually a fantastic strategy. Might be giving away a little bit of margin, but you make it up in overall keyword rankings, gaining you additional sales. All right, so I love this shot right here. Help, I've fallen and I can't get up. That's your rank, of course. What do? So as an agency owner, I hear this a lot. My rank has fallen and I can't get it up. What do I do? So first, evaluate the situation. You want to first check for hidden suppressions. Search your ASIN on Amazon. If it does not display, you have what's called a hidden suppression. And I do not believe there is any tool on the market right now that can check for hidden suppressions. Now, if Amazon is telling you there is a suppression, that is not a hidden suppression. There are tools that track that, but there is not a tool for a hidden suppression. This is a new thing in the last few months. So all you got to do, go to Amazon.com, search your actual ASIN number in search results, and if it doesn't come up, you got a hidden suppression. Go check your image and title and make modifications until the hidden suppression goes away if this hits you. If you can't figure it out, you need help, go to myamazonguy.com, book us for a coaching call. We deal with this on a daily basis. The other thing you can do is check your PPC. So maybe you don't have a hidden suppression, but maybe your PPC is getting diminished. Maybe they marked it as an adult flag. Maybe they banned your ads. There's a lot of things that could happen that if you check your PPC, then maybe there's an issue. Did you forget to add the duplicate SKU that you put together because you forgot that advertising is done at the SKU level, not the ASIN level? That's a really big delineation I'm making right here. So go check your campaigns. Make sure if you have any duplicate SKUs, you have all of them in the campaign structure. Check your competition. Maybe you got like new players with lower prices. Maybe your conversion rate's down because somebody else is taking your sales, right? Could be big. Check for listing hijackings. And what if you've got somebody who's uploaded data into Canada to mess with you? Black hat tactics are at an all-time high right now. Verify your listing is in the correct category, right? So maybe you sell soccer net, but you're labeled a baseball shortstop net, whatever. I don't know, right? Like those are the kinds of things that could really hurt your keyword juice if you're not relevant for your category. So next, you need to create a strategy. Create a big, aggressive PPC push, maybe discount some price, run some coupons, and like crazy, ticket Amazon like you are a squeaky wheel needing oil to fix the issue. And in case of suppressions, hijackings, or all of those other issues, you need to scream until you get the support you need from Amazon. All right, so that is my presentation. I love SEO and search engine optimization. If you want to get in touch with me, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel with more than 600 videos on any Amazon subject. We do live Q&A webinar sessions Fridays at noon EST every single week. You can check out our podcast at podcast.myamazonguy.com. You can contact me directly at help@myamazonguy.com or go over to myamazonguy.com and let us know how we can support you. Full service Amazon agency to grow your sales, solve your problems, coach you through growing your brand or troubleshooting any issue you might have. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and that is my SEO presentation for Jungle Scout. Thanks for having me.
Here we go.
Here's a giveaway, guys. First person to answer this in the chat wins one coaching session with Stephen Pope. Question: how many characters can be entered behind a photo in the A+ Content's alt text field? Cue that Jeopardy music, guys. What is the answer? It is 100. So, and by the way, they made a change to this. You no longer have to reload the photo to make the edits. It's much easier. So just go into your A+ Content and edit that in. If you are the winner of that coaching session, Jungle Scout will send you your email address to me, and I will get in touch with you to schedule that out. I currently charge $500 for a coaching session for 30 minutes. So that is a $500 benefit we just gave away there. Thanks again for watching my presentation. I'm Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy.
Thank you, Stephen, for sharing your strategies on how to find the right keywords that increase traffic to your product listings. That was a super valuable session and certainly a ton of actionable steps in there that you can take right now to get more eyes on your products. Now, I want to hear from you. How do you approach keywords? And which tools do you use to find the best ones for your particular product? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you've gotten any value from this session, please let us know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Now, for both new and experienced sellers, making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process. It's going to happen to everyone. So make sure you stick around and join us for this next session, where we give you some of the most important lessons we've learned from making mistakes so that you don't have to make the same ones too. We'll see you there.